Hey guys, what's up? So the inevitable has finally happened. Thank you, Josh. I have been challenged, and I am always up for a challenge. So we've got a bucket, and we've got some ice, and let's do this. Wait. Hold on. Just wait. Okay, look, I know as well as you do that dumping a bucket of ice water on my head is certainly not going to be the cure for ALS, but the reality is that's not what it's supposed to be. If I can drench myself with some ice water and make myself look a little silly to create some awareness so that people know what the disease is, know how they can help, and just have an overall sense of compassion for people who are dealing with a disease like this, then I am all for it. But it's certainly not about the ice water, and there are some other things that I think we all should know and that I want you to know. So here are a few things. Fact number 1. ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease, as you have probably heard by now, is a neurodegenerative disease that literally attacks the neurons that go to your brain to tell your body how to function. Those neurons deteriorate and eventually die, and so do those functions. It's a terrible thing to see, it's a terrible thing to live through, and it's something that at this point, in 2014, still doesn't have a cure. That's where we come in. No, ice water is not going to be the cure, but we can at least help to provide some funding for some research that maybe will be the cure. Fact number 2. This campaign is working. So far, it has raised almost $80 million. Compared to the same time frame last year, they raised $2.5 million. So before you knock it, at least acknowledge that it's working. And people who suffer from this disease or have watched a loved one die from it certainly are going to be inspired by the fact that at least a lot of us now are putting our money where our mouth is and doing something about this disease that we certainly can talk about, certainly can laugh about when we dump ice on our heads, but the money is really what's going to push the research forward and hopefully allow for better treatment options and eventually a cure for this. Fact number 3. I have no personal experience with ALS specifically, but I do know what it's like to watch a family member deteriorate and eventually die from a disease that has no cure. It's terrible. I watched my grandfather for 3 years fight a battle with a different but equally unstoppable disease, and all the while wondered, why is there nothing that can be done? Why is there no one that can come up with anything to stop this? So I don't know ALS on a personal level, but I do know what it's like to wish that something could be done. And I guess that's why this is important to me, because I know what it's like to watch an incurable disease take the life of someone that you love. And if I can in any small way help so that that doesn't happen to another person, or at least to show some compassion for people who are dealing with it or who are watching a loved one in that same situation, then again, I'm all for it. Even if it's at the cost of some icy water, but more importantly, at the cost of a relatively small donation in the grand scheme of things. I want to be a part of the difference, and that's why this is important to me. Okay, now where were we? Okay, that was a little cold. But the most important part of all of this, obviously, is the donation. So you can donate at alsa.org. There's a ton of great information there as well. But there are a lot of other smaller organizations that would love to have your money and your support as well. Some of them have some specific projects going on to help the families of those suffering from ALS, lots of different things. So I'll post some of those links in the description below. And, of course, I want to give some other people the chance to be the difference in the world, and I'm going to start with Steve Campbell, Owen Farrell, and my cousin, Doug Rominger. I would nominate my best friend, Melanie, but she's already done it, so I will go with those 3. You're welcome. My dog thinks this was the greatest project ever.